Introduction to RIO. By opening a RIO file in Notepad, you see that the specifications of the relay are in this file. For example, between begin device and end device section, information and nominal specifications of the relay are mentioned. Or in the begin device section to end distance, the information regarding the distance function, and in the begin zone section, the information regarding the relay zones are. Similarly, all the relay information is mentioned in this file. By having a RIO file, you can load this file in test object through file option. After loading, all this information existing in the RIO file is displayed. So, the second method for entering information of relays, whose software gives a RIO output file, is loading RIO file in test object. This is how the relay information is loaded in the software. The point is that the information in a RIO file is fixed, meaning that it is not possible to add or delete a new block or parameter in the device block. In fact, RIO is a fixed file, and much of the test object design is related to the RIO file design. The purpose of the RIO file is that, for example, each distance relay should end with a device and distance blocks, and contain a series of nominal specifications, zones, and a series of times. However, it is possible that the distance relay itself contains thousands of parameters and not all of these parameters exist in RIO file, but ultimately the RIO outputs file of the distance relay contains information mentioned in device and distance blocks. This is also true for differential and overcurrent relays. So, the RIO file is a fixed part of the relay settings and includes information related to device block and protective functions. Also, the CB configuration block is added to RIO files for simulation of power key operation. It is possible to add other blocks to RIO file. For example, by opening AMD distance room from test object window, it is possible to add another block if necessary by right-clicking on RIO and selecting the Add Block option. After making a new block, it is possible to rename it by right-clicking on the block. Assume that a relay has two functions of distance and under excitation. These functions are tested by impedance method, so it is necessary that there are two distance blocks in this section. After adding a new block by right-clicking on it and selecting Rename Block, its name is changed to Under Excitation. By double-clicking on Under Excitation block and selecting Zone Setting tab on this page, a quad zone is defined for this block according to the setting described in the previous section. After that, click on OK. Now there are two distance blocks, one of them should be active. If the cube next to the block is colored, it means that it is active. If it is white, it means that it is not active. Now if you click on OK, the information of the active distance block is displayed. Here, the Muhu characteristic is active. Now for activating the second distance block, it's necessary to right-click on the intended block in the test object window and select Set as Active function. By doing this, the intended block is activated and the previous block is deactivated, and by clicking on OK, the characteristics of distance and under excitation blocks that are from quad types are displayed in the impedance view. Also, in the advanced mode, it is possible to mix these two blocks. By right-clicking on each block of RIO file, it is possible to delete it. Column description. Each of these parameters has some information in their role. In the state column, by double-clicking on each cell, RIO parameter viewer page is opened. In the enabled section, you can activate or deactivate this parameter. By deactivating a parameter, the status of its state changes. In the name column, the name of the intended parameter is provided. In the ID column, there is a unique name selected for each parameter. In the description column, there is an additional description provided for the intended parameter. In the value column, the user can select a value for the intended parameter. In the type column, the type of inserted data for the parameter is specified. In the minimum and maximum columns, the minimum and maximum allowed value for the parameter are specified. The formula column is an indicator of whether this parameter is derived from a formula or is dependent on another parameter. More will be said about this column in the XRIO section. How to make a RIO file by Excel. The point is that there is a series of relays that do not provide a RIO file as an output. To get a RIO file from this type of relays, click on Excel to RIO files icon and on the RIO Converter Excel page. Then select your intended relay from the list. In this list, you can find the name of relays whose Excel file exists in the created software. After selecting the relay, its related Excel file opens. On this page, you can enter information about the relay, and after entering the information, by clicking on the Save Rio File option, a Rio file is created from the intended relay. This Rio file can be imported by using the Import from File icon, and after that you can save the relay information. By selecting Advanced from the View menu, a new row is added to this toolbar page. So now you can add or delete new blocks or parameters manually, if you decide to do that.